And welcome to another episode of Tesla Sundays. And as always, guys, the question is about the recent earnings of the turbulent week. Was it a good earnings or a bad earnings? Well, let's find out. Today's first category will be the Tesla performance. We will look into the performance of the stock. Then we will talk about the stock chart. And then I want to go into why the current or the last earnings call with Elon Musk was maybe the worst earnings call that we have ever seen. So what has Tesla stock done over the last couple of days? And obviously, number one topic was the earnings release plus the earnings call. And we will talk about and review that a little bit later into the vlog. So stay till the end. But we were talking now first about the stock. And the stock just massively lost, even up to almost 10% since the earnings release. So investors were not so happy. We will talk about that. We will see that the overall market is still not that great recipient of great earnings, but still pressuring growth stocks like Tesla, okay? And then we had on Friday a huge jump, and we will talk about in the next category also why I think this happened and what actually happened technically wise with this stock, because there was not big news that are coming, except, that Elon Musk is doing the Saturday Night Live show, but this was not the reason Tesla stock is going up. This may be why Dogecoin goes up, not Tesla shares, okay? So the overall market cap of this beautiful company is currently at $683 billion. We have a PE ratio of 710, and the overall 1 month's performance is pretty much flat with a positive of 1.42%. All right. I believe that we are now in a phase with Tesla shares where there will be the question, is the demand for this kind of stocks driven mostly by retail people, or is this really stagnation of the growth that we have seen? I mean, just to remind you guys, Tesla went up 600% just last year. So obviously there need to be room to breathe, guys, okay? And maybe we are in this situation, okay? The summer is coming, people are leaving. Normally you say, hey, sell in May, go away. The seasonality on the stock market is definitely also now another pressure point. You might think, oh no, the seasonality is different this time, okay? That's actually one of the most dangerous phrases you can say on the stock market. It's different this time, but it's definitely, not only because you think it's different, it's the algorithms, okay? Algorithms are seeing seasonality over the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and applying this and their formula, and therefore also, selling or getting less exposure into the stock market in May or starting in May into the summer. Okay, so all of that. Now let's dive into the stock chart to see exactly what happened, because I was thinking they were so close to further bearish, very bearish territory for Tesla stock. So on this beautiful Sunday, let's look into the Tesla shares, and I just teasered that a little bit, but here something happened the last 2 days, which was it looked very bearish and then bullish again, okay? And I will tell you exactly, because some people are wondering why the stock went 4% up with barely news, okay? And I believe that this was a very, very technical move, yeah? The following thing happens. And guys, just remember, the stock is now into the S&P 500. So more companies are trading, more algorithm trading involved, and so on and so forth. So what happens? Usually, when the stock goes through the 50 moving average, okay? This is, for example, the case. Then the stock jumps quite a bit. So once it crosses it, it runs very much up, okay? Now, then on the other side, if it's crossed through it, here for example, then it can become a very bad stock to hold because it can quite go lower, okay? Now, anyway, so what happened is since the earnings, which was somewhere here, 26th of April, we saw a downturn, okay? The overall market was not so great, the investors not so happy, and the stock finished under the 50 moving average, which was a very, very negative sign for the stock. But then what happened? The stock intraday went up and through it. It went through it. Let me see if I can pull the day so you can see what actually happened. So this is the whole day, okay? So here you can see at 3, this is my time, unfortunately. But anyway, so you see that, we went through the 50 moving average and the stock just skyrocketed, okay? Just about when it went through. So I think it was a very, very technical move. That's why I said just in the category before that, I thought maybe it becomes now a very bearish sign, but it became a very bullish sign. So definitely something to look forward now if the stock can continue this ride. Definitely need to stay over it to keep this bullish momentum. And otherwise, it's all depend now with the overall market. I feel that the overall market has upper hand now, okay? There is not big news coming in. There is no big Tesla events. There is maybe the 8th of May where he is on the Saturday night show, but this is more Elon Musk show than a Tesla show, right? So it stays very, 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 very exciting. I can't wait. And let's dive into the last category of this vlog, which is the worst earnings call ever. So when you are talking about the earnings of Tesla, it's always, two things. One, how good Tesla did, okay? Did they make profit? How much more they sold? How much they growed, okay? Those numbers are so interesting and we will dive into that. But then we have the earnings call, which is basically almost Elon Musk talking through all of that. And I have to say that maybe this was one of the worst earnings calls I have seen for Tesla, and I will tell you why. But let's first dive into what happened with the earnings, okay? In my personal opinion, great numbers, okay? I mean, those growth numbers that you can see in the presentation are absolutely insane, okay? The, let's say, lavish outlook, okay, great. I mean, don't get too much that PR and media can pin you down on numbers. Just be a little bit vague. We want to grow 50% per year, this year a little bit more, and so on and so forth. And then we have fantastic numbers, EPS numbers, totally through the roof. And actually, there was one big story on the Wall Street Journal which said that, they're making now more money with selling Bitcoin than selling cars, which is absolutely not true. And one of the biggest influencers on Twitter, Gary Black, did this tweet. And if you want to read it till the end, then make a pause on this video and just read it. Otherwise, I will tell you they did 4 times the profit of selling cars rather than selling Bitcoins, okay? So this is just rumors or a nice way to sell news for them, right? But putting this to the side, so those are the numbers, which were very great, okay? The total growth ship is on its path, all right? On the other side, we have always the earnings call, okay? We have seen in the crises, crazy earnings calls where Elon Musk shut down analysts asking, very hard questions. And he said like, oh, that's stupid questions. We don't answer stupid questions and so on and so forth. So this was a very bad earnings call. But now this time is over. And I feel that the last earnings call was just so boring. I mean, Elon Musk diving into this explanations, technical explanation of AI, vision, and so on. I mean, it's interesting, but we heard it so many times. Maybe I'm just a little bit too much into Tesla, but it's just not so understandable for some people out there, some analysts. And that's why you might see people saying, well, I don't know, it's just a freak and, let them do their thing. But I really think that the information nuggets that he put out are very, very good. Just packed, not so great. And then there was scenes in the earnings calls where nobody wanted to answer a question, okay? So this was also a little bit interesting. I think there's a lot of respect in front of Elon Musk inside the team, which can be always good when he is a really smart person, but it can be also wrong when the people are talking about it and, or are afraid to say their real opinion about things, okay? So, but it seems like the company is great, so no negativity, just a little bit of improvement. The company need to improve. So just listen to the earnings call. You can learn a lot, and you can learn a lot to what Tesla could have done differently. I think that, talk about a little bit more about, the ongoing situations, like the expansion and how you want to really tackle the market with a huge portfolio of cars, rather than just talking about the Model 3 and Model Y, and the Model Y, also the best-selling car ever. This is the promise or vision of Elon Musk. I love this kind of information. But tell us a little bit more about the grand vision of Tesla. This is, sometimes it feels like it's just too short term, right? I mean, yes, they are still building, the factories, but what's after that? I want to know what's in the next 10 years for Tesla. And maybe it's just the wrong question or the missing questions by investors. But I loved, the vision of Elon Musk when, just 1 or 2 years back, when he, created this huge vision, and slowly you see that it's going that direction. And I'm a little bit maybe fed up of how the vision really works and which improvements they make, day by day. That's obviously, okay, that's obviously they do some improvements, they choose in the right way. But I want to know, as an investor, what is the next 10 years for Tesla?